This week, to bow or not to bow. More injuries and surprises in week 3 of the NFL. A story of the undefeated and the defeated. Down goes Van Fleet. Down goes Van Fleet. And there's a mouse in the house. People, there is a mouse in the house. It's a great episode. Enjoy.
New season, brand new partner for the one-star recruits. It's homage.com, the best t-shirts in sports. Go get all the shirts from the fantasy football heroes. Cam Scattaboo, new starting running back for the Giants. Go grab his Angry Runs tee. One-star recruits legend and now Monday Night Football legend Mark Andrews has an NFL Jams t-shirt on that website. Make sure you click the link in our show notes to purchase gear to help support your favorite podcast. Homage.com, one-star recruits.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast. Welcome back. Checking in at 185 pounds, live from the Pacific Northwest studio with my boy Rip. Breaking news. Mike Gundy, Rip, one of your favorites, fired. You're fired. Mike Gundy, September 23rd. Dude made it 21 years at Oklahoma State, leading the Cowboys football program. His Cowboys football program could have a beer at the bar someplace in Oklahoma State. Where is Oklahoma State? What city? It's not Oklahoma City. It's not Tulsa.
Stillwater, baby.
Stillwater.
Do you want to just recreate the rant that you went on in 2022, the Mike Gundy rant when you turned 40?
He had some of the best damn
some
rants, huh? It's probably the best way to give this guy a bow out of this 21-year career is to hit him with some of his best rants. You know, it's clear that this team's going on the road now and just getting beat like crazy. I think this gentleman, and I can't remember his quotes. Winston, maybe you can pull him up and get me prepped. You don't have to, though. That was a good one by Rip. I really feel like the NIL situation with this particular coach, Mr. Mike Gundy, kicked him right in the balls. I think he's a football guy. I think he's a head coach of a head coach, and this NIL era is shaking him up a little bit. And we might lose some of these legendary rants. Let me see, Rip. I'll give it a go. Let me see. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. I'm a man.
Pretty good. I think you did that on this show when you turned 40. So it was very impressive back then. Maybe a little lighter now, but rest in peace to Mike Gundy's college coaching career. I think a lot of these older guys, Dabo Sweeney, like they just haven't adapted. You almost need a full-time like position for NIL director and take it out of the head coach's hands.
Yeah, it's happening. They're hiring GMs across the board. I just saw some SEC schools take that and take a lot of those job requirements off the plate of the head coach so they can say things like, we let him off the hook. We let them off the hook. That was another one. Although that's a very common one, but Gundy says it really well, especially Mom, he has a mullet and he's kind of a little bit country. So this combo of his press conferences when you are pissed off are just chef's kiss. I mean, he just said this about critics. Most of the people that are negative and voicing their opinions are the same ones that can't pay their own bills. When they go to bed at night, they're the same failure that they were the day before. And they want to just say something negative about anybody else. This is him talking about some writers in his room. Just really an awesome. This guy is just full of great quotes, you know. Just on the NIL recently, he said player retention is based on money. Player retention is probably 90% based on money, not other things. It's changed. And that was the last big quote by him, just kind of saying, ain't for him anymore. The time when a head coach can step into a living room and really kind of get a kid to jump on board with his words. It's the equivalent nowadays of me trying to soothe DK Jr. with my words, with my voice. He's looking for milk. They're looking for money, okay? We've hit a new era in newborn babies. Doing your voice like we're sitting in Bridgerton in 1477 when I have access to milk. I mean, come on, man. Just a big kick in the balls to this guy. I put him up with like you said, Rip. We'll put him up with the Steve Spurriers. He's not going to fall into the Saban realm, but these coaches that had a je ne sais quoi to them that could float into a recruit's house and go catch them at a Friday night game, Friday Night Lights down in Dallas, and really win them over with his personality. Starting to turn to writing checks, man. And this guy's is the first major victim of it, I think, here.
By the way, talk about old school. The coaches actually, everyone says, "Oh, we need a coach who can come into a recruit's living room and talk them into going to their school." Do coaches still go and have conversations in living room? Do people even have living rooms anymore? It's 2025.
Yeah,
There's
they
no
sit in
more
their
living
breath.
room.
No living room. They sit in their breakfast nook. I don't think the head guy even goes out anymore. We talked to when he's at Kentucky. I believe he's at Louisville now. We talked to offensive OC Vince Morrow, who kind of took on that role within his team when he was at Kentucky as being the go visit the kids type of guy. I think you got to plug in that GM or that people person versus the head coach anymore. Times are changing, dude. I read an article that's for cornerbacks at D1 schools and big programs. The prices are starting to be listed like menus. You could get yourself a good 4-star, 4.5-star recruit at cornerback for between 800,000 and 1.2 million. So it's like just going to Cheesecake and ordering what you want. You just have to have the money to pay for it at the end. And no disrespect to Stillwater. I could look at a map of Oklahoma. I couldn't find Stillwater on a map. And I'm a geography expert. I know every state capital that's out there. I'm a high IQ Jeopardy geography guy. I would explain myself. I might put that in my bio if somebody asked me, and I couldn't pick out Stillwater. You're going to have a hard time getting players to come there without writing bigger checks than say somebody in Knoxville or Austin, and even now places like UNLV, Tempe, and some of these schools that are just cooler, have more flow, have more vibe, have some money. You don't have to have a ton of people bringing in money, little people here. The game now is just have 5 or 6 billionaires. Take what Michigan's doing. Plug in Dave Portnoy. Plug in Michigan State and the Ishbia brothers. Just keep your eyes on what Michigan State does on the basketball side of things with NIL coming out next year and what's going to happen with their program. Because guess who's involved? The Ishbia brothers. So the game's changing. Mike Gundy. Take your L, take your win though. A great 1-star recruit. He was never a guest, but a lot of great content. Have a good run. I can see you just going out into the sunset. I don't think he'll get back into football. Is there a football job for him that makes sense, Rip?
58 years old, I can see him being like a linebacker coach for the Jaguars, possibly
Yes.
making that jump to the NFL and just like using that 40 years of football knowledge to pass on to some of those guys who are missing tackles out there in Jacksonville. Who knows?
I like that. Yeah, let's get this guy to special teams head coach with that attitude. Get the best out of Trey Tucker down in Vegas every night. Keep him going. Keep that vibe going. There it is. Breaking news. Wasn't how I was planning on starting out the pod, Rip, but hit me right in the face, popped right up here.
The
What should
real
I go back?
the real breaking news I see for the second straight week, if I'm not mistaken, you have your district shirt on from Homage, the Washington Commanders shirt. Am I wrong? Have you washed that thing? Are you wearing the same shirt?
Got washed, still super soft. Sometimes I get nervous when I wash these shirts; they will lose their softness. But it's here. I got a newborn, dude. You start to get clothes on rotation. The Tuesday shirt, the Wednesday shirt, so on and so forth. This is just lining up as my Tuesday pod shirt. It is the softest shirt that I own. A situation with the Commanders where they're kind of my third team, and we're going to talk about NFL. I know you're trying to get there quick, Rip. I'm gonna peel you back here.
I'm just impressed that shirt's been peed on, pooped on, and puked on and washed in the last 7 days, and it's still holding up. The tribute to Homage's quality control right there.
It's a great shirt, man, and I'm going to keep winning it. I get a couple double looks at this shirt because people aren't sure if it's a Redskins or a Commanders or the district. The district to me sounds like a eating area in your community where you would go and they would have some outdoor food carts, and then you could go inside and try a little bit of Vietnamese food, and maybe they got a beer garden in there and they call it the district. That's what this reminds me of. Not a football team as much. So I get a couple looks at it. But at the end of the day, it's the softest shirt I own, especially with babies around. When I'm putting babies, nothing more this kid hates than hanging out with dad, maybe no shirt, and he gets flopped on my hairy chest. Like, what the hell in God's name? So I got to keep the softies around. Thank you for noticing, though, Rip. I appreciate it. It also covers up my love hands a little bit. I did mention in the intro 185. That weight is up. If you've been paying attention, that's 3 pounds. I can tie a direct correlation to this week. We were gifted a box of crumble cookies yesterday. It was Kimmy's birthday. Happy birthday, Boo. I love you. We were gifted a box of crumble cookies, which is not a regular thing in this house. And I'm not saying they're the most amazing cookies. They're not, but these cookies catch a lot of heat to the point where I've been turned off completely without fully trying them. I don't know if people hate on them because of the pop culture. Somehow I've gotten fed things in my algorithm how they're made with chemical compounds that don't exist in real food, and you shouldn't eat these at all. I had a hard time staying away from them. We got four sent to us. No note from it, by the way. So first thing that was a little interesting with crumble cookies, it got dropped off like a DoorDash delivery, but no note. It just said happy birthday. Four cookies were in there, a red velvet. I had a funfetti cake cookie. We had a sugar cookie with pink frosting, and then a peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. I'm not going to rank them, but I did have favorites there. A lot of people find these cookies bland. They talk shit, Rip, like I said. A lot of people say quality control ain't the same. And then obviously very high in calories. Each cookie, you're looking at 1,000 calories, 920 or some shit. And you're treating this. So this is four. So four. So your boy had probably 2.5 to 3 cookies. By far the best cookie in the batch was the funfetti cookie cake. Couldn't put it down at all. So just a combo here of me getting fatter. My wifey and I enjoyed them. We enjoyed them so much that we had a really big lunch and we had all the crumble cookies. It was kind of like cocaine towards the end. We've cut them into a bunch of pieces and they were in the box. And towards the end of the day, she came to me and she's like, "Hey, you want me to just flush these cookies? Should I just throw them away and get them out of it?" It's like when you're staring at just like a bag of blow in your bathroom and you're just going through all your life decisions and it's the time has come, just flush it down the toilet. We got there with the cookies, bro. We reached that point yesterday and we completely skipped dinner. So it was a great birthday for her because we subbed out. I had a ribeye steak prepared. We got till 5:20 stuffed a fucking cookie. Okay, bro, and just said we're done. It felt like a drug addict moment. So I don't know if Rip's thumbs up or thumbs down on crumble cookies. I don't think we've had this conversation. You have the kiddos. What do you think, Rip? Can I catch you in Long Beach eating a sea salt toffee or a cinnamon roll cookie, or catch my boy with a graham cracker fudge sando from Crumble?
100%. I would eat those. The problem is no one has loved me enough to gift me any of them, and I'm a cheap bastard, so I haven't put out the $4 to give. I don't think I've ever had a crumble cookie.
$5,
Ever.
5.50 a cookie. It's another thing people talk shiznick on.
Yeah, that's like more than a luxury donut at this point. I tell you what though, in the last 24 hours, I've had Takis, I've had Cheetos, and I've had a Warhead that had like some fizz in the middle of it. So I'm basically like radioactive right now, all the junk that's running through my body. But yeah, a crumble cookie to top it off would be perfect right now.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have the runs, bro. That you're gonna have the runs like Jonathan Taylor. In fact, Taki, go through that rundown again. All three of those are runs. You're running like you're running from Yaya Diaby, which I'm gonna talk about. But you got the runs coming, bro.
Takis, a little bag of Cheetos. But somehow neither of my kids are Cheetos fans, which is insane to me. And also a Warhead. I stole a Warhead from my kid's candy package that he bought at Five Below. So yeah, just pure junk in the
Those
past
still
24 hours.
slap. You still enjoy those? You still have that moment of pain, and then you enter the world of deliciousness as soon as you suck off that sour. Is that still hitting you, or is those just fucking trash at your age?
Yeah, no, the key phrase there was suck off. That's exactly what it is because they're super sour to begin, but then you bite into them and it's just pure like bliss with the sweetness and tastes like cotton candy in the middle. But yeah, those things are. And now my other son got a spray bottle of just Warhead that you spray in your mouth like the old school Banaka. You spray sour Warhead in your throat, turns your entire mouth blue. So there's some
Mm,
crazy stuff out there these days.
the suck off king, my co-host friend Rip. Prepare a lot of parents if they mess with warheads early though. This is the worst. If your kid wants a damn warhead, eat the damn warhead. The worst parenting move in the history of parenting moves is to present a warhead, the kid's a baby about it. You suck off the sour and then give the baby the candy. If you ever seen doing that, Rip, you're getting a smack to the face.
That sounds like
Unacceptable.
disgusting illness waiting to happen.
They call it baby bird feeding warheads. It's actually a thing on Reddit. Stay out of the Reddit room, warheads, people. Anyway, a fat week of celebration for me. I'm still in the newborn phase of slamming food into my mouth whenever I can. It's one of those things where you steal 15 minutes and you have a decision to make. And most of it's brush your teeth, take a shower, or just slam any food you can in your face. Sometimes you get the gift of leaving the house. I sent the boys a group text from, believe it was this weekend. I had a moment to shine and get out of the house for a little bit of Dairy Queen. Did a Dairy Queen drive-through run. Texted the boys out my order, which was a Saturday sweet treat for me. A cherry dipped cone, a order of pretzel sticks with cheese, a cheeseburger, and a medium Oreo Blizzard. 4 items, Rip. Not a lot of people. I'm a man. I'm 40. Could do 4 items at DQ. Stayed under $15, $14.50. Okay, which is great, and caught a little bit of heat for that order. You respected it. Thank you, sir. Is that a respected order? Is that a childish order? Should I be making the decision at this stage in life just not to go to Dairy Queen? It brought me so much happiness. I pulled over after the drive-through in my car, and I sat there, and I just ate my cherry dipped cone, and I was so happy. I mean, he presented my Oreo milkshake to me, and he turned it over. Nothing fell out. Just wonderful. On the drive home after my cone, I ate my cheeseburger in the car. So doubled down. By the time I got home, I had a cheeseburger down. I had my dipped cone down, and I got to walk in the house with a Blizzard and some pretzel sticks to share with my family. It's fucking glorious.
Yeah, it brought me straight back to 1999 when we did that stuff like 3 times a week, probably that exact same order at the Dairy Queen in Tempe, Arizona. You haven't changed in almost 30 years, which is incredible. It kind of felt like a heroin addict who just spent 3 years in prison and came out and would just do crazy amounts of heroin. You just went straight forward. The part to me that I didn't really understand is the Blizzard and the dipped cone. Like you couldn't just have one of those. I think you're gonna blow right past 190 and be 200 in a few weeks on this episode. If you
It
say
was a
200,
share. I knew the Blizzard was going to be a share with Kimmy when I got back home. She doesn't do full Blizzards, so I knew that was going to be a share. So that was part of my game plan. I had a game plan out for this one. This is once a week, and my order has changed. You can sub out pretzel sticks. 20 years ago would be a chicken tender basket with Texas toast. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Pretzel sticks, new item. They are very bad. Do not get those. They are very bad. In fact, I need a new pretzel. There's no Auntie Anne's that I have access to. I can maybe find a good pretzel with cheese if I meander into a brewery or perhaps a tap house. I don't know where else has good pretzels. A modern American cuisine, Nuevo Americano, might have a overhyped pretzel for $15.99. Where on the streets can I get a $5.99 pretzel with cheese that slaps? I need a new one in my life. I don't want. We've hit this point of either you go to the airport to get a pretzel or I have to go to a damn brewery to get a pretzel. There's no in between area, and I'm sick of it. Straight up.
you're feeding right into my rec of the week. So stay tuned. I got the pretzel for you in the rec of the week coming up here in about 15 minutes.
Not planned, but I need it. It was the poorest thing in my Dairy Queen order by far. I would have kicked that out. If I could have done it again, I would have kicked that out and probably just got a chicken tendy basket again. So who cares? Screw it. I'm already here committing over 2,000 calories. Just sub in the chicken tendy basket with some ranch and let me live my life. Bottom line. But I got to be careful. 185. We'll see next week. We'll see if I can get back down to 183. I'm back into the tennis mode. I got just fired up watching the LeVar Cup in San Francisco, which is the Ryder Cup for tennis. The court was gray. It was really cool on TV. And I locked in 2 more tennis lessons for next week. So your boy's coming back. Stay tuned. 183. Before I do football, though, dude, some quick NBA news. We don't do as much NBA as I'd like. It's my favorite sport. Close second is NFL, but I love the NBA. We are right on the precipice of media days and preseason hoops to kick off. Got the first shakeup in the NBA offseason. Freddie Van Fleet of the Houston Rockets, a team with championship aspirations, suffered a torn ACL on his right knee during a team workout in the Bahamas. I just never like these injuries when they happen like this. It's super serious enough that he's going to miss the whole season next year. So there goes your paid point guard on the championship caliber team. You got to be careful in the offseason workouts, Rip. There's not a lot of details on how it happened, but it sounds like they were just prepping in the Bahamas. I know Buddy Hield's got a crib out there. Is he still on the Warriors, Buddy Hield, or did he move to another team? Who knows? Bahamas, new offseason plays. So now we got to redo this entire Houston thing. And we're not going to get into the breakdown of the lineup. I just want listeners to know, and I want you, Rip, to think about the concept of offseason workouts. Like, how hard do we go? We got a lot more pressure on one-star alumni Amen Thompson. Listen back to the episode, got him and his brother on here as rookies coming into the league, if you want to hear them talk a little bit. But now it's his team with championship aspirations. So it's coming, Rip. We don't like the offseason's injuries. You remember when Yao Ming reportedly, allegedly injured his foot during a casual pickup game? You remember that, Rip? Word on the streets is he injured it chasing somebody who beat him at a chess game in Beijing. Now, that's just rumors. Nobody knows that for sure. We don't know the reasons why. Kristaps Porzingis once injured his Achilles tendons while horseback riding. You think that's in the contract? Right here in the PNW in Portland, Brandon Roy, you might as well have a damn statue here. Had to retire early because he had very bad knee problems. But the big tear came on an offseason injury. And Lake Oswego playing at the damn Lifetime Fitness, okay? My boy Luol Deng tore his knee riding a bike in the Sudan. We just never know. So I thought Monte Ellis immediately. Remember the Monte Ellis injury, Rip, in the offseason in 2008? This is what I thought of immediately. And I hope it's not this, but I think the moral of this story is maybe just chill in the offseason, just shoot. Is that possible? Because I think there's a lot of untold stories from these offseason injuries. You hear things in baseball like players saying they cut their hand preparing their cat food dinner. I don't think that's the true story. Ever. I don't think we get the true story in a lot of these injuries. It's a gray area, but it really messes up the whole damn season if you go too hard. Okay. So, Rip, is this Fred VanVleet thing a Monte Ellis situation, or did your boy just he just landed bad on that right knee playing pickup ball, getting ready for the season next year, and it is what it is?
I think it's probably just a bad luck for him. I mean, these guys aren't going to sit on their butts all off season. They want to come to training camp in shape. Like you said, it starts in a couple of weeks here. And I'd argue that actually, like, it's bad timing. Yeah, but it could have been way worse. What if this happened in the middle of training camp or like 2 weeks before the season? At least now they have time to figure out a plan before camp starts and then get rolling on that. Let me throw out a couple names for you, DK. I know you mentioned our guy, Amen Thompson, and then the top 3-pick Reed Shepherd over there might be next in line. But there's a few free agents that actually might give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on these three that might be able to just step right in as veterans and help out the Rockets. Russell Westbrook, bring him back to Space City and team him up with KD again, run it back. I mean, he's gotten a lot smarter. He's a vet.
ESPN will love it. I'm here for it. I don't think it gets him a ring, but I'm here for it.
All right, Russ Westbrook, thumbs up. Ben Simmons, just number 1 overall pick, right? Been a journeyman the last few years, but he's still, I believe, 28 years old. What do you think about Ben Simmons just running point down there?
Puke. I know he just fired his last agent again, and he might be done. This might never see him ever again. If Tillman Furtada and then boys in Houston end up doing a Ben Simmons move, I'm completely out on this team no matter what the situation is. No. Big thumbs down. We don't want him anywhere close to a team with championship aspirations.
I think you're right. I think there's a reason he's still available. I think probably in 6 months he's going to be leading the NBL in assists down in Australia and probably scoring too. But last name here, another vet, another former first-round pick, a guy close to your heart because he was with the Suns in their NBA Finals run. Cam Payne, DK. Cam Payne is still available, probably for $1 million.
Probably a guy like Cam Payne, though. Yep, there's the genre that you're working in, and it's not great. I mean, we're going from a consistent, level-headed point guard who's built to be a point guard, who's built for the system in Houston that they've been putting together for a couple years here, and then plugging in a guy like Cam Payne who just doesn't understand anything. He just wants to launch. He doesn't even, I don't even know if he fully understands basketball. They could not handle him in New York. In Phoenix, it was just literally every time he made a basketball decision, it was either a huge celebration or a puke. 90% of the time, I was puking in my mouth every time he touched the rock. So stay away from him. Big thumbs down. It's a shitty situation. Finding a good point guard in the NBA coming into this next 2025 season, if you lose one, is like finding a good running back in the NFL right now. Anybody been on the waiver wire for the NFL looking at running backs this week? Everybody's injured. Nobody wants to touch Jerome Ford. Okay. You want a little bit of Kareem Hunt? Jesus, you really got to think through these things. You don't want to touch them. That's exactly how I feel about the dudes you just mentioned.
I think the Russell Westbrook thing might have some legs. I mean, he's an older guy at this point, but not no longer like chasing stats, and seemed like a little bit of a leader last year on Denver, and helps bring a spark off the bench if he's not starting. So I wouldn't throw that out yet.
Got to be honest about these injuries in the offseason. Remember, Vin Baker injured himself snowboarding. You got to let people know. And that Monte Ellis situation, although it was shitty, he did the same thing. He said he got a high ankle sprain while in Mississippi playing basketball. Turns out he was admitted with an injury on a damn scooter accident. He was riding mopeds, which is prohibited in his contract, like a Zion Williamson thing. You got to prohibit him eating gumbo because he's too damn fat. But usually in these contracts, there's a lot of things that say there's serious consequences for engaging in risky off-course activities. I don't think this is it, Rip, but it's something in my stomach's telling me there's something going on here. And the problem with the Warriors that year in 2008 was not even the injury. It was the cover-up. People hate a cover-up, man. So honesty is the best policy, especially if you got to blow this thing up again in Houston and start over. NBA, there you go. NBA Minute, Rip. Are you excited about anything for Media Day or NBA tip-off before we kick over to the King of Kings, the NFL?
I think I'm more excited for G League camps to get going, so we can get some more ballers on this podcast. It's been a minute since we had some G League guys, so I'm excited to start getting some more interviews with those guys coming up here.
Amen. Shout out to Reed Shepard while we're there. Get him on the show. Might be done with his G League career, but his pro career is stepping up. Stay tuned, listeners. We're gonna get there, I promise. I know y'all love Rip and I, though. I know everybody loves Rip and I. My DMs and my text messages go crazy when Rip and I talk about Trader Joe's meal planning. Okay, much more crazy than when we get Max Homa on to talk about making birdies. I know what y'all like. I know what one stars like out there. We're doing our damn best. NFL was great, dude. Week 3. I know you're locked in. Fireworks and drama. I think that's the best way to go about it. Some combos. It was defined a lot by wild comebacks. We had some big touchdowns and game-shifting moments late in games, which were always great. We had a lot of defensive scores. Defensive fantasy numbers, bigger than ever. I don't have anything to back that up. I'm just feeling it in my heart that those numbers are really big. And then some clutch kicks. Might be tripping out, but I feel like we're seeing a lot more clutch things happening early in the season, which is made for fun football. Down go the Packers. We'll start with, Cleveland Browns. Surprisingly, a good team against good teams, and then they play down to their competition, especially at home. If you're betting on the Cleveland Browns, look at their home and away, and if they're playing against a good team at home, they actually play a lot better football, but they stunned the Green Bay Packers. They overturned a 10-point deficit, Rip, in the final 4 minutes. Love that shit. We got a Grant Delpit interception. We got a Shelby Harris block field goal. Love a football game like that. And then bring on my guy, Andre Schmick. Am I saying his name right? The kicker? Schmick?
I have no idea. There's not one vowel in that name. So
not
really
one vowel
no
in that name. I mean, just a tough one to come out of my mouth here. Schmeik to possibly. Walk it off, though, Andre Schmeik. 55-yarder. Take your bow, King. Andre Schmick. First time in 2 decades the Browns have erased a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. I don't know, Rip. Myles Garrett is really, really good. Joe Flacco isn't. I'm kind of ready for Sanders. Will you at least sit through a Browns game, Rip? Can you sit through the Browns and think positive thoughts about them at all?
It's tough to watch from what I hear. I haven't watched a second of their games this year. It's probably the last resort on NFL Ticket for me right now. But I am intrigued about that running back, Judkins. He does look like he could be something long term for them.
What do you think about Ford? If people got to pick up in their fantasy lineups, Jerome Ford, because he is the
I
only top guy available. How about him or Kareem Hunt? Who are you picking? Who are you getting on the waivers?
I had to take Hunt. I think he's a little more involved in the Chiefs offense. I think going after Jerome Ford is probably like chasing a stock on the way down.
It's a tough situation with running backs. We'll get into it more. I want to circle that because it's a big problem for me. But I want to lead with that game because good for you, Cleveland. Good for a comeback like that, and good for being the best team in the NFL. I don't think the Packers are stubbed their toe. I think they were exposed a little bit for not showing up to a game that they should have showed up for. Expect a big bounce back against the Dallas Cowboys, and Micah Parsons returning to play Dallas next week. Some huge plays for Caleb Williams. Here it is. I was ready to kick them out. Speaking of Dallas, keep in mind, Bears fans, Bears and Cowboys. Just this Cowboys secondary is by far the worst ever. But Caleb Williams had a couple big plays. He had 4 TD passes. Rip, I'll take that. 300 yards. We'll take that. We'll definitely take that. Did you see a glimpse with Caleb Williams at all where we were done with him last week? A lot of people were done with him last week. Any more buy-in in Caleb after getting this W here?
He looked really good after he's looked really bad, but I think it's more of a problem with the Cowboys defense. So we'll see. I mean, he goes into the Raiders this week. They have a pretty solid defense, but also can be thrown on quite a bit. So I think this will be a true test to kind of where he's at right now this week.
Yeah, it'll be a big one. Nice to see him get some yardage up there, though. So it's just not the same old shit every week. At least we're keeping people on their toes in Chicago with if they can show up or not, I suppose. Jonathan Taylor, a lot of people put him in the rafters. We'll say it. Put him in the rafters, but he's the best fantasy player out there. Definitely the best running back. He had another 100-yard game and 3 Trace rushing touchdowns. That's what we want there. Beat the shit out of the Titans, who are just really one of the worst teams in football. I have them in our team wins pool, Rip. Just really a pathetic excuse for a football team. Makes sense with this new quarterback feeling through it. I thought they'd have a little bit more juice in to find some wins early. They're gonna stink this whole season. Titans, you can just throw them away. And Jordan Mason, man, welcome to Minnesota. Aaron Jones, who's a bit tired, was gone. Boom, 116 yards and 2 touchdowns for Jordan Mason. So some nice offensive bursts from those players. I want to give them some shout out earlies. Raiders, Rip, Trey Tucker. You got him on your lineup? You starting Trey Tucker anywhere? 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. Anybody got Trey Tucker in their starting lineup?
Is that Chris Tucker's son? Is that who that is? You're talking about?
His cousin. Who knows in the NFL with these things anymore? Josh Allen had another victory where he had to crawl back from the shitty ass Dolphins. He got a late touchdown to Shakir or Shakir, Rip?
Shakir.
Khalil Shakir. Fabulous freaking name. And then another great comeback by the Chargers. Last second, 43-yard field goal as Justin Herbert seems to be very clutch. A silent pickup he's still good at football, and he's still able to give big-time production on third down and big plays. Holy shit, clap it up. Keenan Allen. Holy shit, Rip. He's not doing 130 yards and every single third ball is finding him, but you need a third down. Take a look on Baltimore. DeAndre Hopkins. He's doing the same thing. Big hole in the Arizona Cardinals game plan, missing that guy. And we'll talk about the yips and Harrison Jr., but that guy, who can make a big play, run a clean route, find the way to get open, find open space, and then have the hands to make a big catch when it matters on third down in the fourth quarter of a game. Paging Keenan Allen. Great fucking job, man. Great pickup. I'm going to go ahead and put the Chargers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Rip, so far into my Super Bowl. I see it. I can crystal ball see it. I can see it. And I know they're both 3-0. That's easy way to go, but I just see it. So, undefeateds. We have Buffalo, Philadelphia, who snuck one in, Tampa Bay, Indianapolis, that's your team. I'm going to give you a moment on the Colts because they're still doing it. It's crazy. The 49ers who beat our Cardinals, but the Cardinals covered. Yuck, yuck, yuck. All that whole genre of games and injuries there. And then obviously the Chargers we just talked about. My favorite team in the undefeated zone so far, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rip. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, I love him. He's hit his zone. He's hit his je ne sais quoi of being a quarterback in the NFL. Undefeated going into week 4. They got this pass rusher I mentioned, bro. Yaya Diaby. Breakout defensive season for this dude. He's everywhere. You want to watch a defensive team? Find this guy. Find Diaby and lock your eyes into him. He had 11 total quarterback pressures and 30 pass rush on 30 pass rush snaps. So that means, Rip, almost 50% of the time this guy's getting to the quarterback. I think he got a sack too. So I love the way that these guys are flying around, and I love the leadership of Baker Mayfield so far, Rip. Do you agree? As far as the undefeateds I mentioned, Rip, let me remind you one more time. Buffalo, Philly, Tampa Bay, the Colts, the Niners, and the Chargers. Who's got the most juice in that group?
Tampa's been fun to watch, especially when they wear those creamsicle uniforms. And yeah, I mean, 2 of those are, I think, game of the week for sure this week. They're going up against each other. Tampa, Philly, a huge game. Jalen Hurts versus Baker Mayfield. And we'll see about that pass rusher you just mentioned. See if he can get past Lane Johnson and these all pros on Philadelphia. So that's going to be a great game.
Getting a little washed there on that offensive line in Philadelphia. They got to rely on other positions and teams to get things done. Anything on Daniel Jones, who now they're saying Indiana Daniel Jones. Dun-na-na-na. If I have to hear Chris Collinsworth do that anymore, dun-na-na. It's going to drive me nuts. 41-20, though. Your boy keeps doing it. I mentioned the 3 tutties by Jonathan Taylor. He's doing a lot of the work, but there was some big throws in there by Danny Dimes. Is this just luck? Is this just luck? We're gonna throw out the bathwater with the baby here pretty soon with this Indianapolis club, Rip? Or are you gonna keep doing it? Is it just because you picked them in the Pick'em League and you're getting lucky? I picked Tennessee, you picked the Colts. I think both of us have the same mind frame in those picks. We'll see and cross our fingers. Or did you know something we didn't know?
I've been saying it for weeks after his breakout performance in week 1. Best quarterback in the NFL, probably the MVP this year. A huge road test for them this week. Like you said, they played the Titans. They did beat the Broncos the week before, but now they're going on the road to play the LA Rams with a good defense and a better offense over in SoFi Stadium. But hey, the Rams are like seconds away, a blocked field goal away from being part of those undefeated teams. So if Daniel Jones comes out of SoFi Stadium with a victory, I think the real MVP talk will start then for him. The nation will catch on.
Yes. Yeah, it will. The move of the week, if you're a New York Giants fan. Yeah, actually, I take that back. The move of the week, if you have a friend or family member who is a New York Giants fan, is to go ahead and hop on to homage.com, use the link in our bio and our socials. And now is the time to buy a Daniel Jones / Indiana Daniel Jones shirt and send that right to your Giants fan. They deserve it. Russell Wilson just got sat. They're back in quarterback fucking hell. I'm doing less cussing, Rip. I'm pulling that back. They're back into purgatory quarterback land in New York in the Meadowlands, and it's just painful. So funny joke for the winter solstice. Send him over a Daniel Jones shirt. That's the move.
Shout out our Giants fan on this right now. Who's our Giants fan on this pod?
Mermelstein, checking in from Sparta, New Jersey.
Sparta,
he definitely
New Jersey
has texted me very pissed off. Everybody's done on Dayball. Everybody's done on Dayball. We've had it. We've had enough.
We got some breaking news, DK. Sorry to interrupt, but Russell Wilson is no longer. We got our guy Jackson Dart is now the starting quarterback for the New York Giants, starting with this week. So Jackson Dart will be under center. And let me ask you a serious question. Who would say no for a Jackson Dart for Daniel Jones trade right now? Who would say no to that? The Colts or the Giants? Wouldn't that be the wildest thing in NFL history if they traded Jackson Dart
The
back for
Colts
Danny
would say
Dimes?
no. Yeah, you have it now. You have somebody who's known for first. Although I have been liking the plays when Jackson Dart gets in because he does add another element to the scheme that Russell Wilson doesn't even touch. He can move with the ball and get that thing going. There's a little bit of Baker Mayfield red ass in Jackson Dart, but really to me, he has this. The signs are written. It's on the cave walls. He's a backup, or he's a third string. He's a third backup. Jackson Dart. He's a red ass guy who thinks he's better than he is, and New York will either expose him or it will put him into success. I think he's a little bit too pompous, though. Doesn't understand the speed of the NFL game, and just wait till you get hit in the face, young man.
How about his first 5 games, DK? Everyone's excited for him to start, but he's got the undefeated Chargers at home, then to the Superdome, where the Saints haven't been a great team this year, but the Superdome's always a tough place to play. Comes back to face the world champion Eagles, then at Denver, the best defense in the NFL, then back to Philadelphia against the Eagles again, his first 5 games. Chargers at Saints, home Eagles, at Denver, and road Eagles. If he makes it through that alive, the kid's a keeper.
Yeah. Time will tell. If not, I think if they lose 3 of those, especially out of the gate, Dayball is done. Put it up. Put it on the poly market bet right now. He's not going to make it through unless this quarterback works out for him. You're supposed to be the quarterback guy, my dude. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be the quarterback guy. So far, you're the quarterback killer. Can't seem to figure anything out. Who knows what we're going to give to you? Fantasy football wise, if you have Jonathan Taylor, like I mentioned, congratulations. Dude is averaging over 30 fantasy points in recent weeks. That's crazy. If your running back in this day and age is getting you 30 fantasy points, enjoy your W. Trey Tucker, pick him up. He shouldn't be on anybody's waiver list, but the guy scored 43.9 fantasy points in a single game. That's what happens when you break out big plays. This is not going to be a regular situation, but he's one of the fastest dudes around who has a good ball sense. So keep an eye out fantasy wise. Jalen Hurts, hand clap to everybody that stuck with Jalen Hurts as their quarterback. I know he's not really sexy or fun, but he gets buckets. My man gets buckets. He's scoring over 30 points in every single game, both passing and rushing. You're going to get a tush push in there. It's not sexy. It's not even that fun to watch, but when you look up at the end of the day, the points are there for him. Lamar Jackson keeps it going. Leading quarterback. He's got some bad luck. I don't know what to tell Derrick Henry and his ball security, Rip. I don't know why. I understand why this is happening to Ramondre Stevenson up in New England. That makes sense in my head. He's that type of guy. No disrespect, Mr. Stevenson, but I think you'll fumble the ball. It doesn't fit with Derrick Henry's MO, his life flow, his zest for being the type of football player. And I know Aiden Hutchinson is really strong, and it was a great strip. He got him in terrible time, fourth quarter driving, just the worst possible timing. I don't know what to tell Derrick Henry, Rip. He lost one against Buffalo. He put one on the turf against the Browns and Baltimore. I don't really know what he apologized. That's fine. What do we do with this guy? Stevenson said he ran around the entire offseason with a weighted ball. Didn't help. I don't know. I don't think it's the yips. I don't know what the fumble. When you turn the corner and try to hit the hole as a running back, are we forgetting that there could be 300-pound guys chasing us? What do we do? What's the fumble fix?
I think it's just one of those things where the guy's been around for so long. He's been such a good running back for so many years. I think it'll just fix itself. It's a small sample size, 3 fumbles in the first part of the season.
It's not though, Rip. But it's 3 huge turnovers at huge times when ball security is much more priority than. I mean, he's still producing. He's got 250 rushing yards, 3 TDs. He's averaging 6 yards a carry. He's doing it. Big time fumbles. Is it in his mind?
No, I think it's just coincidence, man. There's some good. You see a couple of them he got stripped on. I mean, he's going against the best athletes in the world. So, like I said, I think it's just a coincidence, and it's not going to happen the rest of the season.
I mean, this is now a Baltimore team that's 1-2, although they've scored a league high 111 points. I mean, really, the ask here is this: we're putting out this elite offensive production, And we can't fix any of the problems on that win side because of costly turnovers and big defensive blowout plays. Get it together, Baltimore. I don't have an answer either. I'd like to get more creative. I thought you're my creative guy on the podcast. I thought you might have some more creative answers to fixing the yips with fumbling. Can't happen to a running back this good at big time points of the game. Maybe think about doing more sauna, perhaps, Mr. Henry. Just a thought. I don't know. Take out your nose piercing. Maybe you don't need to be wearing 6 chains. I don't know if that's fucking up your ball flow or whatever. But right now, let's humble it down a little bit. Let's take a couple bites of hungle pie, take off our stuff, and just focus on holding on to the football. How about that? How about that? How about that? How about Nico Collins? You turn into the wide receiver we thought you were. How about the one star Houston Texans? Christian Kirk has lost it completely. He's got a case of the yips. The Jaguars came in and beat them. Houston, punt them. I don't even want to talk about them. I'm gonna kick them out of here. Real fast on that Eagles game too, Rip. Love seeing a big man move. I got a hand clap. You got a hand clap too. Let's let the big man eat out there. Jordan Davis. Whining moments of that game. He blocked a 44-yard field goal attempt by the Rams kicker Joshua Carty. The Rams on the way to win the game. They should have won that game. They should have. And he went ahead and blocked that thing and then returned it for 61 yards. Love to see a big man run like that down the field. Jordan Davis, 336 damn pounds. Put him as the heaviest player in the NFL, Rip, to ever return a block kicked for a touchdown. Heaviest player. Go ahead. Give me some names from NFL past. Anybody heavier than him? There's a couple of them.
Refrigerator Perry.
Yes.
Gilbert Brown from the Packers.
Gilbert never got a long one, though, but Refrigerator Perry did. He had the multiple touchdown game, I believe, and notably, he ran back a touchdown in Super Bowl 20 for the Bears. He was checking in at 390 when he got there. You remember Sean Rogers?
Oh, yeah, big guy for the Lions, right?
Big guy for the Lions. He had a 66-yarder. That was a great one. That was 2007, checking in at 350. One of the biggest to do it, though, the biggest on record, Teddy Washington. 375 pounds. Ran one back. My guy Vita Vea, too, at 350. Tampa Bay, I was talked about them. 2019, Vita Vea had one. Love to see big men get it, especially when you get the block and the run. Rip, is there anything better as special teams football as a big man?
No, I mean, these guys play their whole careers to score one touchdown. Most of them never even happens, but when you get that one, it's got to be sweeter than anything.
God, I love it. I struck out big time. I had an injury to Jaden Daniels, so he needs to be back next week. And I don't know, maybe I thought Washington Huskies, I'm up here in the Pacific Northwest. I thought I knew Jake Browning, even though he's suspiciously bad. Sometimes he still likes to throw that damn thing. Picked him out. What a mistake. Took another loss for me with that start. I embarrassed that I had my mind even adjust to the fact that Browning could be the guy there. Just really struggled to fill that position after Jaden went down for me. Sad for me. 1-star Rex of the week. No, I'm sorry, Rip. Pardon me. 1-star moments of the week. Don't let me get ahead of myself, listeners. 1-star moments. We all have them. Things happen that are shitty. We're going to talk about them. 185 for your boy. What's your 1-star moment, Rip?
I had an interesting night last week. Was feeling good because I got to bed early, about 9:45, which is pretty rare for me. It's usually closer to 11 or 12 at this point. But I was in for 10 hours of sleep. But then DK, 1-star moment of the week, I was rudely awakened. I was in REM sleep, so I was dreamland. It's almost like someone comes into your house, home invasion, wake up style. I heard a big sound next to me. I woke up in a startle and I turned over, and my little 5-pound dog, this little Chiweenie that we have, it's kind of a decoration type dog. He had puked right next to my ear on the bed. So I woke up, turned over, and instantly woke up to a pile of puke. Thought it was a complete nightmare. It was a living nightmare. The next 20 minutes was spent lights full on, tearing the sheets off the bed, starting a load of laundry. Almost like we had a newborn again, DK. That probably happened to you 4 times last week, but you don't expect to happen when your kids are a little older, came from our dog this time. So ruined my night, man. 1 star moment of the week. Thank God he didn't puke on me, but it was about 4 inches from my face. So
Mm. Yeah,
rough
the
night for me.
full sheet change in the middle of the night is for the birds. Nothing worse than by the time you're back trying to go back to sleep, you're wide awake, enthusiastic, trying to find your zone again. Just terrible. Would you rather have a puke or a pee? We know we don't want dog poo, but if you could pick your poison, would you rather have a dog poo or dog pee?
The pees happened recently too. The pee in the bed. I mean, the dogs just have to not sleep in the bed at this point in life, I think. But yeah, there's been pee. Either way, it's resulting in a sheet change and a full lights on at 2 in the morning. So they're both losing situations.
Hard for I'm explaining it to Kimmy currently because I'm on the night shift. She likes to tell me how much sleep that I'm getting. I'm doing air quotes for the podcast here. Is how much sleep I'm getting. She's not realizing is by the time I finally get the kid back to sleep, there's an easy 25 minute of listening, still awake, and then I'm up. I'm up anyway. So finding it again. So tack on another 30 minutes. I'm not getting 5 hours of sleep, Kimmy. Okay. I'm getting maybe three and a half. Your boy's tired. All right. I'm dealing with poo and pee in the sheets too. Burp ups changed. I can relate, Rip. I've gotten my two older dogs completely off the bed now. They are dog beds. They are happy about it. They are cool with it. They've accepted their role in the house of not being on the beds. And they really appreciate it when I do let them on. Some mornings, once the baby and Kimmy get up about 5:36 to do whatever in the morning, I'll let the doggos back in the bed. I know they appreciate it a little bit more because it's like a place that they weren't allowed. Now they just take it away. They appreciate it more. I can't even think of a good example anymore. I'm rambling. I don't have anything else to say there, Rip. Don't let your dog on the bed anymore.
You're not far off from having a toddler and two dogs in the bed. So enjoy it while it lasts.
I will. Listeners, go ahead and take a shot of water every time I say anymore. I think I just hit you guys with 7 straight sayings of anymore. There's another one. All right. Take a shot of water. Stay hydrated up there. 1 star moment for me. Mouse in the house. We got a mouse in the house. The worst possible situation for finding out and figuring a mouse in the house. My sister was here this week visiting us. Sometimes in this newborn bubble, you're just unaware of things, and you have to have somebody come in and shine the light on the shade. And she came in and shined the light in the shade. She did a bathroom cleanup, and she did about 4 days ago. Kimmy noticed a mouse who somehow, some way, snuck under our dishwasher. And that space in the dishwasher is less than an inch. It's maybe a half inch, probably less than that. So our minds can't even fathom how a mouse would get in and out, but she swears she saw one. The next day, with my sister here, she so gently pranced into the morning while I was making coffee. And she said, "Do you guys know that there's a bunch of mouse turds in your silverware drawer?" Which is terrifying and gross because have we been eating with silverware that have had mouse turds in it? Have I just not been recognizing that those are mouse turds, thinking in my mind those could be English muffin pieces or burnt stuff? I don't know. I got a newborn. I'm not putting things together. But there was mouse turds spread out all in our damn silverware drawer and under the sink in the storage area where the cleaning supplies are. There was also some mouse turds where I store the dog food in the mudroom. All makes sense. Anyway, we do a deep clean out all the mouse turds, get it all done. It's a nightmare. Mouse in the house. I got to find a mouse. Rather than looking for it, this is a rental. I called my landlords. Thank God for good landlords. They acted within 2 days. Got a guy out here. Figured it out. We had to walk the entire house. Determined the mouse was not coming from inside of the sink or inside of the walls. It was inside of the walls. But how it got in, Rip, we had to go down into the basement in the room outside of the studio, and he found it. Do you know where this mouse is getting into the house?
I'm going to guess the air conditioning vent.
No. There is a door with, once again, maybe 2 millimeters. The guy said if you can see light, these little moles can find their way in. He thinks he was getting in through the basement door, getting into the wall, climbing his way up to the second unit to where the food is, and then transferring over to the silverware drawer, which get this, he was attracted to. Guess what they were doing in the store in the silverware drawer? All of our little baby spoons are made out of this soy material. This no, Kimmy doesn't want to use the plastic or whatever in the spoons. 2025, who knows? These spoons are made out of soy. That's what was attracting them. They were eating the soy baby spoons. So we threw those away. We got the guy here. He set up a mouse trap now under the sink to try to catch this remaining mouse, which we have not seen yet. That's kind of terrifying. Who wants to open up their bottom sink to a fucking dead mouse and then pick it up and throw it away? I don't know. That creeps me the fuck out. And he said it so nonchalantly. Hey, if you find a dead mouse, here's how you reset the lock and here's how you set it. I'm thinking, sweet Lord, I'm going to call you if I have a dead mouse. Okay, bro? How about that? How about that? Those apples. What am I going to pick it up, drop it in my trash and go about my day? I'm not an animal killer. It's a crazy thought. Just pick it up and drop it in the trash, my man says. It's fucking nuts. So I hope I don't find a mouse, but we got a mouse in the house. We got mouse turds. Look, I don't want a Gene Hackman situations on my hands. Okay, Rip? Nobody wants to die. So you got to take care of this. Nobody wants mouse turds. It's fucking gross. Nobody wants to die from the mouse turds or breathe in the mouse turds, but also nobody wants to pick up a mouse body and drop it in the trash. So Godspeed. I'm just going to spray some peppermint on it and hope for the best.
Keep us posted, man. Hopefully, you don't wake up to that thing puking next to your head in a couple days in the bed. That would be
I
really
can't believe how much
worrisome.
these things poop. If it's just one, holy sweet Lord, Mother of God, you filled the whole silverware fucking tray with shit. It's got to be multiple, unless these guys are shitting like that. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the mouse game. I'd rather have a mouse than a rat, I guess. Is that a fair assumption? Mouse better than rat?
I would think so. I mean, it sounds like he's basically you after your Dairy Queen run with how much he poops. So maybe it's a theme in your house this week.
Mouse in the house. I'll keep you posted. It's a 1-star feeling. 5-star feeling that I have a landlord and I can just call the landlord and he can deal with it. And props to you, Big Jimbo. You came out quick again. New TV a couple months ago. Mouse in the house. You're on it. 5 stars for my landlord, but totally sucks. Totally sucks. 1-star recommendations of the week. Positive side. Rip, I think you got a food. I also have a food. My Trader Joe's Rex went viral last week. My phone was blowing up a lot. People love it when I give them a little Trader Joe's Rex. I'm a good Trader Joe's shopper. I find the good stuff and let people know about it. If you like Junior Mints, listeners, 1 stars. If you like Junior Mints, not a lot of us like them. You're a very oddball, rare soul. If you actually go to the movie theaters and buy Junior Mints, you're probably 70. You're probably a baby boomer. People don't do it anymore. I like them. Trader Joe's in the candy section, tucked in the bottom right corner. It's hard to find them, but they have dark chocolate. They call them dark chocolate mint filled chocolate bites or something. But what they are, listeners, if you like Junior Mints, they're Junior Mints, but they're 3 times the size of Junior Mints, and they're amazing. So there you go. That's a freebie. That's not my rec, Rick, but I wanted to throw it out there because we got such good feedback. For people who might be Junior Mints people out there. I don't know. This is a way better Junior Mint. But what do you got? Please, God, give me a good pretzel that don't tell me it's something that I buy at the store and put in my air fryer.
Not air fryer, you just bake it. But you mentioned Auntie Anne's. Some people call it Auntie Anne's, the mall kiosk pretzels that are delicious. My kids love soft pretzels. They eat them without salt. They just love the actual pretzel, the bread, whatever. We used to get just the super pretzel, the one's been around for 50 years, super pretzels, wherever, Target, Rouse, whatever grocery store you got. But discovery last week, DK, Auntie Anne sells frozen pretzels at the grocery store, complete with an individual packet of butter for each pretzel and also a packet of salt. You put that thing in at 400 for 4 minutes in the toaster oven. Tastes 90% of the way like to eating a mall kiosk pretzel. So that's the wreck of the week. Go get them at your Piggly Wiggly or Steinmart or wherever the hell they have up there in Oregon. But if you get those things, I'm telling you, they're a little more expensive. They're like double the price of super pretzel. But you said $6. I think you get a whole box for $6. You'll probably eat the whole thing in one night.
Steinmart, Rip. What am I trying to get? What am I trying to get a big dog t-shirt, a pair of Levi's and a polo? Steinmart, get that. What store? You go to Target? I don't got Piggly Wigglies, Rip. You gonna have these at
Yeah,
Fred Meyer?
actually, we did get him at Target. I'm on a Target boycott, and I violated the Target boycott to get these
Whoa,
Auntie Anne's
whoa, whoa, whoa,
pretzels.
whoa, whoa.
So,
You hung Target in the rafters? You didn't tell us?
no, I told you, they charged me $1 for a bag when they didn't even give me a bag when I was picking up NBA 2K last year. So I've been done with Target for almost a year now, and I see their earnings and sales are down. So I think I single-handedly did it.
But they got you back for some Auntie Ons, huh?
They got me back for Auntie Anne's. It's too convenient to buy them. I'm not going to the mall and spending $8 for one. I'm gonna get $5 for five of them in a box at Target.
Nobody says Auntie Ons except for you, because you are my autistic friends when it comes down to that. You can't even see an Auntie Anne's, which is so clearly how it's spelt and read, that Auntie Ons is so far from it. But since you're a bit autistic, I'm gonna give that one to you, Rip. Auntie Ons, we'll roll with it. Good rec. I'll try it. I mean, biggest slept on thing that you mentioned was the butter that they put in there for you. So it's a special butter. If I used my own butter, I wouldn't get the same flavors.
What do you got?
Wreck of the week for me, also food. So my sister was in town, like I said. After the gym, we went to go get some Korean food. Beaverton, listeners, if you don't know, is home to some of the best Korean food in the country. I didn't know this before I moved here. This is fun fact. If you love Korean food, Beaverton, Oregon, it's got a lot of great spots. Anyway, it started out as a one-star moment with me doing something super cringe, but I didn't realize it was cringe. In fact, Kimmy, my wife, also didn't think this was cringe. My sister thought it was very cringe, and I cannot do it anymore. I need to stop doing this. Any guesses, Rep? It happened upon my entry to a Korean restaurant.
Did you bow to the waiter?
I bowed. I'm embarrassed. I didn't even know I'm doing it. It's kind of like a code switch thing. I don't know in Korea if they bow or not. She was so sweet. She met us at the booth, welcomed us, and took us to our table. And I just hit it with a bow. And I looked back at my sister, and she was just shaking her head. And she said right there, she said, "Don't bow, don't bow." So I don't know, Rip. Bow? What do you think? Is that cringe? Is that offensive?
It's frankly, yeah, completely embarrassing. I can't believe it.
No,
Like it's something from hundreds of years ago that probably didn't even happen in
no.
that country. Yeah, very, very
So when
disgusting
you
of
were
you
in
to even do.
China a couple years ago at that wedding and stuff, you weren't giving out any bows, zero bows.
Absolutely not. I didn't even make eye contact. Hell no.
No. So you never accidental bow when there's a situation at a Chinese food. It's not even in your repertoire at all. You will never be seen bowing.
Maybe in Japan, but probably not.
Listeners, chime in. So if I was instead of a Korean restaurant, if I was at a Japanese restaurant and the same situation had played itself out, a bow would be totally okay. A-okay. There it is. Fair.
You
All
want the
right. So
listeners to chime
there's
in or
no
me?
answer. Listeners, chime in. I think too it's cringe. I don't. In my household though, it didn't seem to be a cringe thing. But my sister totally. I'm done with it. I'm gonna hang it in the rafters. I'm not gonna do that. So started out as a one-star experience. One-star wreck of the week though, within the Korean food realm, I was turned on to a new dish alert. So new dish alert. This is crazy. I love doing this with listeners. I mentioned Trader Joe's. I hit you guys with some new stuff last week. Got the Junior Mints thing this week. If you go to TJ's, if you find yourself in a Korean restaurant, you can very easily go to the Korean barbecue. That's the bulgogi. That's the short ribs. Those are served hot, beautiful marinade on them. You eat those with rice. Those are delicious. We've all had that before. If you want to go to the other side of the menu and take a little bit of a risk, but really be the superstar of your meal and show off to your table that you know what's going on, a dish called japchae, Japchae. It's a noodle dish. This is a Korean sweet potato starch noodle. It comes with a protein, so I got it with ribeye. Delicious. Comes with carrots, baby spinach, some bell pepper, some onion, some mushroom usually, and then the seasoning is like a soy sauce, a rice wine, some garlics in there, a little bit of honey and brown sugar, some sea salt, and some sesame seeds, and then it's basically ripped like a Korean pad thai. Is my point. And I've never had this before. It was a completely new thing. It got put on the table. I judged it. It kind of looks like glass cellophane noodles. So everything in my head is like, I don't know. It's going to be slimy and weird. Holy shit. might be one of my new favorite dishes, japchae. So if you find yourself at a Korean restaurant, listeners, japchae, it's the pad thai of Korean noodles. That might be offensive too. I don't know. Tell me if I suck at this. I'm new to the whole Korean thing. K-pop and pouring soju for other people. I'm just getting into my flow again. But japchae is my rec of the week. Just a terrific dish. Have you had it, Rip?
No, but I'll be sure to have it and not bow when I do.
No bao buns, and no peanuts in that dish at all. I don't think either. You're cool with sesame, right? Sesame's cool.
I think so.
Rip reacts. Hit the music. WNBA season's wrapping up, Rip. I know our listeners love it when we hit on some W for him. Rip, do you think that Angel Reese and other Chicago Sky stars skipping their exit interviews? This is a thing in pro sports. You have exit interviews. You think this was just a heat of the moment reaction to her finishing with the league's worst record, kind of being the butt of a lot of WNBA jokes for her? Or is it a single between a deeper riff in Chicago with Reese? This one-star alumni? Is this a sign that she can be out? Is she out of here? Is things going to change drastically in Chicago, or is it time for one-star recruit Angel Reese to find a new squad?
I think she's got one foot out the door. I think probably a trade demand is coming soon. You don't skip the exit interview. That's like bowing at a Korean restaurant. You got to have the etiquette. It's part of the etiquette. Just do your exit interview and go home.
Yikes. Some numbers were released for Stephen A. Smith. He's now pulling in $40 million a year, Rip, between ESPN, SiriusXM, and some other ventures. I know both of us don't hate Stephen A., but we don't like him either. Do you think he's worth superstar athlete money, Rip? Is this proof that sports media personalities can be just as valuable as the players themselves? You're seeing it with Dave Portnoy hopping on some Fox football shows, Pat McAfee. You're even seeing it with the Bustin' and the Boys guys, Taylor Lewan and our guy Will Compton moving over doing some ESPN. Is this proof that these personalities now, maybe like me and you, Rip, are just as valuable as the players themselves?
Absolutely. It's all about entertainment, and the guy entertains millions. Social media, YouTube clips, obviously his shows. The guy's on General Hospital, for Christ's sake. I watch with my wife. Sometimes he's on General Hospital. He's everywhere. It's all about entertainment. Deserves every penny and probably more, to be honest.
Seems like a lot of work too. Once you get into this level of media personality that's equal to the athlete level, it's not like you can do a podcast once a week anymore. Like you said, Rip, you got to do it all. I'm watching these guys with Busted and the Boys get the money now. They're doing 5 or 6 podcasts, and they're on a plane on Wednesday. Saturday, they're on site on a venue, and then they're doing streaming for Sunday football. It's a lot, man. You really got to commit yourself to it. I think it's someplace we want to get to eventually, me and you, right, Rip? We believe in ourselves. Get us there, 1 stars. You got to like and subscribe, baby. Like and subscribe. We'll get you. We'll bring all the 1 stars with us here. Who knows? I got to finish with a football question. I'm not finishing with Stephen A. Smith, Rip. Steve Young, your boy. We hate him, actually. God, the Niners. I'm still so bitter about that game. Yuck. What a terrible game. Steve Young says Lamar Jackson, not Patrick Mahomes. The Lamar Jackson, who's 1-2, listeners, not Patrick Mahomes, is the biggest threat to Tom Brady's GOAT status over the course of the next 5 years in the NFL, in this quarterback hierarchy. Steve Young, is he just being a hater? He's talking about the evolution as Lamar as a passer, his 2 MVPs. He thinks that he can topple Brady's legacy. Is this just hype, or does that just belong in Patrick Mahomes' cold, dead hands?
Not even that, but I think Josh Allen, he's got to get past Josh Allen too. I mean, he's got a history of losing the big games. I love Lamar as a player, but maybe his coach is holding him back a little bit, or the GM not building that team up a little better. But no, I think that Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady GOAT status is safe for a while.
We love you, listeners. We'll be back next week. Jackson Dart is the starter. Rip, give us one guy on your waiver wire you hope goes through today. One guy that people aren't thinking of. Go ahead.
Amari DeMarcado, Arizona Cardinals.
Yuck. We'll be back next week. 1 stars. We love you.
See you next week.